After parting ways with the creature he met earlier, he fell asleep by a strange tree. He opens his eyes to a colorful, unfamiliar forest filled with strange plants and glowing mushrooms. He blinks a few times, trying to make sense of his surroundings. Kaya thinks this isn't a dream. Confusion and subtle fear fill the air. A wide shot reveals the vast, surreal forest with twisted trees, floating rocks, and glowing lights in the sky. Kaya stands up and stretches, still looking around with uncertainty. He thinks, what kind of place is this? Definitely not Earth. Awe and unease settle in. Kaya looks into the distance, spotting towering structures and hovering islands in the sky. His ears perk up as he notices how different everything is from home. He thinks, this place, it's too strange. How do I get back? Worry and determination take hold. Kaya begins to walk cautiously through the forest, looking for anything familiar. He sniffs the air, ears twitching to pick up any sounds. He thinks, if I can find someone, maybe I can get some answers. Hopeful but cautious, he moves forward. A small group of strange, rabbit-like creatures hop into Kaya's path. They curiously approach him, sniffing at him. Kaya thinks, at least they don't look dangerous. I hope. Kaya crouches down, reaching out to one of the rabbit-like creatures. The creature sniffs his paw before hopping away, unconcerned. Kaya says, all right, at least someone here isn't trying to eat me. A sudden loud rustling sound comes from the trees ahead, making Kaya tense. He stands up, alert, eyes scanning the area. Kaya thinks, what now? I need to stay on guard. Silhouettes of strange figures appear in the distance, partially hidden by the trees. Kaya squints, trying to make out who or what they are. People? Or something else, he thinks, filled with suspicion and caution. One of the figures, a tall humanoid with glowing eyes, steps into the light. The stranger raises a hand, signaling no harm. You're not from here, are you? The stranger asks, with a tone that's both mysterious and curious. Kaya steps back, lowering his body into a cautious stance. His tail flicks nervously as he keeps his eyes on the stranger. Who are you? Where am I? Kaya demands, his voice edged with defensiveness and tension. The stranger chuckles softly, stepping closer without any hostility. They gesture toward the sky, indicating something vast. You've been pulled into the multiverse. This is one of many worlds. The mood is calm but ominous. Kaya's eyes widen as the stranger's words sink in. He stands up straight, ears still perked in disbelief. The multiverse? You're saying there are more worlds like this? The mood is filled with shock and confusion. The stranger nods and begins to explain the concept of the multiverse. A series of glowing, floating orbs appear around the stranger, each representing a different universe. Infinite worlds, each with their own rules and realities. You've just crossed into one. The mood is fascinating and overwhelming. Kaya's face shows a mix of disbelief and awe as he looks at the glowing orbs. His tail slowly relaxes as he tries to comprehend the scope of the multiverse. Overwhelmed and thoughtful, Kaya whispers, it's too much to take in. How did I end up here? The stranger waves their hand, showing an image of a swirling portal above the orbs. The portal grows larger, representing Kaya's entrance into this world. In a mysterious and foreboding tone, the stranger explains, you were pulled here through a portal. It's not uncommon, but it's dangerous. Kaya's expression hardens as he thinks about home. He clenches his paw, determined to find a way back. With a sense of urgency, Kaya declares, I need to get back to my world. How do I find this portal? The stranger shakes their head slightly, their expression unreadable. They turn, pointing to the distant mountains. Portals are unpredictable, but if you're lucky, you may find someone who knows how to open them. The air is thick with uncertainty and mystery. Kaya growls softly, clearly frustrated by the vague answers. He glares toward the distant mountains, weighing his options. Not exactly the answer I was hoping for. His frustration mingles with a growing determination. The stranger steps closer, their voice taking on a more serious tone. They glance around as if wary of being overheard. Be careful. There are forces at play here. Darker than you can imagine. The mood shifts to something ominous and foreboding. Kaya's eyes narrow, not fully trusting the stranger yet. He crosses his arms, still cautious. Kaya speaks. Forces? What do you mean? Who's controlling these portals? His tone is suspicious and guarded. The stranger hesitates for a moment as if debating whether to reveal more. They finally shake their head and begin to walk away. The stranger says, if you want answers, you'll need to explore, but be prepared for what you find. The mood is cryptic and foreboding. Kaya stands there watching the stranger leave, his thoughts racing. He looks toward the distant mountains, knowing that's his next destination. Kaya thinks to himself, I need more answers, but how can I trust them? He feels conflicted and determined. Kaya takes a deep breath, refocusing his energy and shaking off his doubt. He tightens his paw into a fist and begins walking in the direction of the mountains. I guess I'll have to figure this out on my own, Kaya says, his voice filled with resolve and focus. Kaya walks through a wide open field filled with glowing plants and strange wildlife. His posture is determined, eyes scanning for any signs of danger. If I can find this portal, maybe I can get back, Kaya thinks to himself. But what did they mean by darker forces? The mood is suspenseful and inquisitive as Kaya continues his journey. Unbeknownst to Kaya, a pair of glowing red eyes watches him from the shadows. The unseen observer remains hidden, tracking Kaya's movements. The atmosphere is ominous and foreboding, adding a layer of tension to Kaya's journey. Kaya stops in his tracks, his ears twitching as he feels the presence of something watching him. He looks around, trying to pinpoint the source of the eerie feeling. Kaya thinking, I'm not alone out here. A sudden attack. A dark, shadowy creature leaps out from the trees, lunging toward Kaya. Kaya dodges at the last second, growling as he prepares to fight. Here we go! The fight begins. Kaya engages in a fast-paced battle with the shadow creature, dodging its sharp claws and countering with swift strikes. He uses his agility to stay one step ahead, but the creature is relentless. Kaya thinks, it's fast, but I've got this. The creature's defeat. Kaya lands a solid hit, sending the creature crashing into a nearby tree. The creature dissolves into shadows, defeated. Not so tough now, huh? Moving onward, Kaya stands over the dissipating shadow, catching his breath. He looks ahead toward the mountains, more determined than ever to find answers. Kaya thinks, whatever's waiting for me up there, I'm ready.